I'm about to reveal the correct answer from last week's question, so make sure to go back and watch that video if you haven't already. So the first two sentences give us our premises. The first sentence tells us that if an action is reasonably expected to increase the aggregate well-being of the people affected by it, then it is morally right. The second premise gives us a biconditional. It tells us that an action is morally wrong if and only if it would be reasonably expected to reduce the aggregate well-being of the people affected by it. A biconditional means that both of these things either have to be true or have to be false, meaning the only way an action can be morally wrong is if it was expected to reduce the aggregate well-being of the people affected by it. It also means that if an action is not expected to reduce the aggregate well-being of the people affected by it, it cannot be morally wrong. Then our argument concludes that actions that would be reasonably expected to leave unchanged the aggregate well-being of the people affected by it are also right. There's a big assumption they're making in this argument. They're assuming that actions can only be morally right or morally wrong, that there's no gray area. In other words, they're assuming that if an action cannot be morally wrong, then it has to be morally right. We know that an action that is expected to unchange is not expected to reduce, so it cannot be morally wrong. So this action cannot be morally wrong. But that doesn't mean it's morally right yet. We can make it mean that. This is a sufficient assumption question, so that's exactly what we're going to try to do. I'm going to be looking for an answer choice that says that if an action is not morally wrong, then it is morally right. And that's exactly what answer choice C is saying. It says any action that is not morally wrong is morally right. That proves this conclusion 100% true. Making a prediction for sufficient assumption questions is always going to be a good idea, and it'll help you get to the correct answer so much faster. Comment down below if you got this question right, and remember to click the link in our bio for a free consultation with a JurisPrep tutor.